This episode of PDX Spotlight is brought to you in association with Portland Radio Project.
Hi, my name is Larissa Birdseye. What the is this? And you're watching PDX Spotlight.
Coming
Welcome to PDX Spotlight. I'm your host, Luke Neal, and I would like to welcome Larissa Birdseye to this episode of the show. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You've been a busy gal over the last 6 months. You've had a ton of releases at the end of 2017, a ton of shows. But first, let's go back for the folks who don't know you. Talk about the beginnings of you as a singer-songwriter, maybe some of your early influences, and when you decided to do this.
Sure. So I have always been a musical little creature my entire life, to the point of annoyance. Everyone in my family. I mean, I was always like singing. Like I always had some kind of song in my head. I still have all these songs in my head. I just tend to write them down now. But I played violin growing up. I played the clarinet. I hated it, honestly. Like my parents, my mom especially, she was like, everyone has to learn an instrument in this house. I'm one of 4 children, so I grew up in like this household where like all of this awful string music was being played, and I was such a little jerk about it too. Like I refused to learn how to read music, and so I would listen to the recording and I'd figure it out. And what I was doing was I was training my ear, but it got to a point where I was like, when I was in high school, I was in, chamber orchestra, and all of these people, like I'd moved from a smaller town to a bigger town. All of these kids were there and they were killing it. And I was like, oh, like I am not very good at this. I can't really listen to the recording because it's gotten a little bit more difficult than I had anticipated. So I finally learned how to read music. I started sight singing. I also started writing my own songs, my own little terrible, self-indulgent, adolescent angst songs in high school. And I really never intended to do music professionally. It was not something that I ever thought was like a goal. I mean, I think every kid that is musical on some level has that fantasy of like, oh, I'm gonna be a big deal. But I had no intention of really following through with it until recently.
Yeah, what do you think that moment was for you? Was there a tangible moment, or was it an evolution for you?
I think it was my relationship with songwriting that gave me some insight. I mean, it was really the one thing that made me feel better or more in control. I felt some mastery over the situation any situation I was in. If I could write a song about it, it was like, it was meditation. It was like figuring out how I truly felt about something. I think that there is some power in like taking a situation, crafting a song out of it. It's almost like a thesis statement of how you truly feel. Like I feel like so much in life is so gray, and like so it's all over. You can make an argument for any case. But I think with me, some people are like, wow, it's a really mean song that you've written there. Or like it's a really sad song, or But I think it's because I've really chosen an aspect of how I feel. I've created this moment of how I felt in that moment, even though nothing is ever black and white.
I know you didn't mean to punch me in the face, and I didn't mean to choke your husband on your wedding day, but he's kind of the worst, and I wish you all the best, but I'd rather fucking kill myself than see you rise again. Oh, there's no turning back. And there'll be no apology for anything I said, 'cause it's not my fault your husband picked some basic dudes and friends. And I know I'm kinda mean, but you turned out kinda fake, and I hope you live a good life, but I hope you stay away. And there's no turning back. 16 years, I've been dealing with your ass for 16 years. I should get a fucking prize people wishing I did not exist. And I'm 3 hours out of Denver, and I'm sure shit out of luck. Hope you feel it when I'm leaving, and I hope it fucking sucks. So there's no turning back. Yeah. 16 years, 16 years. I've been dealing with your ass for 16 years. I should get a fucking prize, but I'll dry these tears tonight. Yeah, you can suck a dick. Red wedding, I got punched in the face. Red wedding, yeah, your husband's a waste, and you know that you said he's got a little one. Red wedding, yeah, it's over for us. Good riddance to the things that we've done, and you know that I loved you, but girl, you know I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I needed you, but I got stronger. I'm leaving, yeah. Hope that you're happy. Got everything that you wanted, but your happy ever after's a damn disaster, and I'm gone. Red wedding, I got punched in the face. Red wedding, yeah, your husband's a waste, and you know that you said he's got a little one. Whoa! Red wedding, yeah, it's over for us. Good riddance to the things that we've done, and you know that I loved you, but girl, you know I'm moving on. Yeah. Woo! Red wedding, I got punched in the face. Red wedding, yeah, your husband's a waste, and you know that you said he's got a little one. Red wedding, yeah, it's over for us. Good riddance to the things that we've done, and you know that I loved you, but girl, you know I'm moving on. And you know that I loved you, but girl, you know I'm moving on. And you know that I loved you, but girl, you know I'm moving on. We're not on speaking terms, so.
Your latest single, No Matter What, really captures, it feels like, the inception of the song. Even the artwork is you chilling in a bed with a guitar. Like, is that accurate of that moment for you?
That's how I write. That's how I write all of my songs. Like, I'm usually perched on a couch. Sometimes I think like my back hurts all the time because I'm like always in this like, oh, I got a pen to paper, like I'm in this weird crane position. But I'm usually on my bed with a guitar, and it just kind of does pour out of me. I think that I've been viewing my creativity, my inspiration a little bit differently. I used to view it as I used to view it with a lot of anxiety, like I wanted to hold on to it. Like, you know, I'd go. Right now, I'm in a period where I'm writing a lot. Like I can't even really stop how much I'm writing. But I go through dry spells where I'm not writing for 6 months, and I have this anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get this back. And how I'm viewing it now is if I'm open and if I'm receptive, I'm just trusting. I trust that this will be here. For whatever reason, like I can channel it if I'm open.
There's a lot of realism to your music. It's easy to connect to, especially live. When I first saw you live, your vocals immediately reminded me of Sia, like back from her 07 days and early indie stuff is just killer. So coupled with that and the way you write, I think it's easy for people to relate to your music. It's evolved over the last couple of years. I've known you as an artist, and you've been extremely open and personal with your struggles and some of the things that you go through. So talk to us about how that lights your songwriting and what you're sharing with us.
So that's an interesting question, and I think I started writing songs as a way to deal with situations in my life. I feel I'm very open now. I never was. The thing is, I was not an open person. I was a very secretive person. I struggled with addiction. I struggled with an eating disorder. I struggled with a lot of things that I kept hidden because there was so much shame around it. And I was that kid, you know, in writing songs about this in my room, and I had so much anxiety I could never play them. And when I did, I was usually drunk, and people would be like, "Oh, like you should do that. You should do that." And I was like, "This feels like a knife to my heart every time I sing this song." And you know, I think I was very inspired. Actually, there's a song that Sia wrote. I was like in rehab at the time when I first heard this song. It's like the oh, this is gonna frustrate me. Like, I have done it again. I have been here many times before. Be my friend.
Breathe Me.
Breathe Me. That's it. So I heard Breathe Me, and I was like, oh, like she's talking about this. Like she's like singing about this, and like the raw emotion of that song just like overwhelms me. And that was a moment where I thought, I want to do that. I want to do that. Like, I want to create for other people what she just created for me, which is this feeling like I'm not alone in this. And that kind of music, I think people have always given me a hard time, like, why is your music so personal? Because it has to be. It has to be for me because it's healing for me. And I think what I've heard from people that have come up to me after shows and they've said, this song is like, you know, I'm going through this situation right now and this is perfect. Like, I thank you for this. Sometimes I feel like I like just decimate my personal life sometimes in order to write these songs. I don't know if it's like this pathological thing I do, but I enjoy it.
This is a song called Damages. You fucked up again. You made a mess of everything. I miss you, but it's all pretend. I've been drinking, I've been thinking of what you said. I've been drinking to forget. I need you, is what you said. The night we cried into our hands upon the stairs. You asked me if there was anything left, so I lied and said I loved you, and I took you to my bed. Yes, I lied and said I loved you instead. But I feel you like a woman will not eat, like a hollow. That I tried my best to fail, you did damage. And I know I hide it well. Are you managing it better this how? Cocaine and whiskey left you blue, and you found your comfort in the arms of another for a night or two. Heroin sure made a wreck of you. I did the best that I could do. I did the best that I could do, but I still feel you. Like a woman who will not heal, like a hollow. That I tried my best to fail, you did damage. And I know I hide it well. Are you managing it better this hell? Do you remember when we lost it all? It blends together like a nightmare. You held me crying up against the wall. Asked me why I looked so scared. You punched a hole into your bed frame, a perfect circle on my face. But you promised you still cared, so I guess I just stayed there. For all those nights that you disappeared, for all my questions unanswered, for all those girls you fucked just to feel a little less alone than you were. I waited step anymore. I'm going home, but I still feel you. Like a wound that will not heal, like a hollow. And I tried my best to fail. You did damages, and I know I hid them well. Are you managing it better this how? Are you managing it better this how? I hope you're managing it better.
Your social media, Instagram in particular, is extremely personal and entertaining. And it's something I don't think a lot of people, when they were growing up, thought was going to be a part of the music business. But you balance it really well. I mean, you're always active. You're always putting out new content. So talk to us about how you manage the business side of the music business.
So the business side of the music business, I feel like I do mix a lot of personal with business. It wasn't always how I have been. I think a lot of people are like, oh, that's a lot that you're doing there, Larissa. But again, just to reiterate, I've always been very inspired by other people's honesty, and other people, when they talk about their struggles, it's like this reminder. I really do truly feel like we're all in our own heads a lot of the time, and life can have like the most amazing ups, and then it can just throw you into like a washing machine spin cycle. And when I am in that spin cycle and I read something, maybe someone I know, maybe someone I don't know going through it, I'm like, okay. So I feel like I've, for better or for worse, I'm doing this. Like, I'm like, here's what I'm struggling with. It's always a balance because I don't want it to be like, oh, like maybe we should like get Larissa like some help here. Like, I don't want it to ever be like that. So I think it is a balance. I just try to be, I think the thing about utilizing social media in this way is people do really want to connect to who you are. As independent musicians, like, we're not manufactured. We really get to choose how we present ourselves. And that side of the music industry is something that I really honestly think is trash, where it's like this manufactured version of an artist. In another regard, that can be kind of a saving grace, because then, the person, the artist, if you blow up, like, it's not just you. You can have this persona. So it's something that I'm figuring out as I go along.
And the more open you become on social media or with your fans, do you think that impacts your songwriting?
I think I've empowered myself to be as honest as possible. I think that's a word that I would love to use. Like, I feel like I have empowered myself. I think that the more anxiety, or the more you censor yourself in terms of, oh, can I put this out? Can I not put this out? You are thinking not as an artist, you're thinking as the individual. And sometimes that is hard and not right necessarily for people, but I feel like if I can't be 100% honest and 100% truthful in what I'm writing, then it's not as good as I can possibly make it.
Larissa, thanks for being on this show. So glad that you could perform at the Old Church for us. Appreciate you being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I wanted to do this for a couple years, so this is like full circle.
Glad you're here. Ladies and gentlemen, Larissa Birdseye.
This song is called Famous. Forgot my own song. It's probably why I'm not famous. So you wanna be famous, so you wanna be a superstar, so you wanna make changes, want everyone to know who you are, want everyone to know your name. It's a sword double-edged and you fall down hard, and this is how it starts. Oh, this is how it starts, this is how it starts, this is how it starts. 5 years in the city, making good, making mad, pissing time away, but the line looked pretty. When we were young, we were dumb, we But you hope and you dream that it might someday. But this is who you are. Oh, this is who you are now. This is who you are. This is who you are now. So you take what's left and you scream it out with your dying breath, and you fight against everything, against everyone that told you you were nothing. And you hit back when they tell you you can't, when they tell you you won't, when they say it's impossible, impossible. These eyes hide the worst you've seen. Don't kill your dreams till you see them coming. Fast forward to the future, where I am, where I've been, where I plan to be. I'm a pain got suture. Nobody takes what I got without asking, and everybody had me figured well. But I can laugh at the past finally, 'cause this is who I am. Oh, this is who I am now. This is who I am, yeah. This is who I am now. Oh, I don't owe them anything. Maybe that's why I left my freedom ring. Who knows what's right? I've only got what I believe in tonight. I believe I can So I'll take what's left and I'll scream it out with my dying breath, and I'll fight against everything, against everyone that told me I was nothing. And I hit back when they tell me I can't, when they tell me I won't, when they say it's impossible, impossible. These eyes hide the worst I've seen. I won't kill my dreams. I'ma see them coming till I see them coming. I'll see them coming. So you wanna be famous, so you wanna be a superstar. All right, thank you so much.